It is time for the final part of Ocarina of Time 3D. Honestly, this has kind of been a bit quicker than I thought it would be, but I suppose it is the first 3D Zelda and also probably the Zelda game I'm most familiar with, so I guess it shouldn't really come as a surprise that it's that I've gotten through it pretty comfortably. I'm actually going to switch to the Big Goron Sword. I'm going to use that for the first bit of the castle, because why not? I need an excuse to use it. Anyways, we were forced into the cutscene with Zelda last time, so we can go straight to the castle. There'll be an excuse. I want to fight Ganon with the Master Sword, though. Like, I know it'd be easier with the Big Goron Sword, but I want to do the story thematic stuff when I get there. Anyways, I think theoretically you can see this before you get to the end of the game, but I saved it for now. I can't remember, is there anything new over here? Or is this the same fairy fountain as before? I thought that's something you can do, you can use the silver gauntlets for. Yes, Navi. I thought this is a silver gauntlet thing. Question mark? Yeah, I thought that was like silver gauntlets or something. Anyways. I'm gonna put the hammer, because why not? Yeah, no, this... Yeah, these are silver gauntlet ones. Yeah, I was pressing A, and nothing happened. It wouldn't let me pick it up. Then maybe there's something else I've forgotten about in the game. Yeah, I was pressing A, but all Link was doing was rolling into it. Link forgot how to grab. Oh, that's a nice gold sculpture that you got there. Maybe there's a power-up you get, another final power-up you get in Ganon's castle, I can't remember. Anyways. We need to get over there. Link, can you hear me? It's Rauru, the sage. We six will gather our power to create a bridge to the castle where Ganondorf dwells. The castle's keep, which is known as Ganon's Tower, is protected by 6 evil barriers. Bring down the 6 barriers and save Princess Zelda. Also, hopefully the volumes are okay, because when I was making sure my mic mute thing was working, I accidentally messed up the volumes, so I had to try and put it back to where it was. Now, if I remember right, the bridge here is much more elaborate in design here than it was on N64, but I've never got this far on N64, so I don't know what it looks like there, so that's something. Is there anything of note around the side of the castle? Probably not. The glowing stuff under the castle is very malice coloured. Yeah. Also, shoutouts to the Switch Pro controller for nearly lasting the entire game on a single charge. I think if I'd remembered to turn it off right after playing every time, it probably would have lasted the whole game. Oh, whoops. Anyways. Yeah, I've had to plug my controller in today. Right, into Ganon's... inside Ganon's castle. I did... yeah, I've got... oh. I probably could have just ignored those, but whatever. Thanks for getting a closer look. You're welcome. It was definitely on purpose. Right, so yeah, we got 6 rooms based on different elements. In fact, yeah. Oh, I could show off, hold on. The ice arrows have a use, sort of. You can use the ice arrows to freeze these things. Oh. That's gonna be... yeah, it's actually useful. Not required, but... oh. Oh. Link, get out of there. Oh, I think this might be another mandatory bomb chew. I forgot there were times where you had to use them. Yeah, I genuinely forgot there were times where they were required. Oh. There we go. Is this mandatory fire arrow use? That might have been mandatory fire arrow use. And now I've got to unequip the big Goron sword so I can... oh, great. Oh, hey. That's the right one. I think I'm gonna use the light arrows here? Yes. That probably stumped me until I looked it up when I was a kid. The spirit barrier is dispelled. Hurry up, kid. You were literally the first one I did. Does it dump me outside, or do I have to run back? Oh, it dumps me outside. That's good. Okay, yeah, there's... I think you do get an item in here for lifting up those big things. Right, hold on. I was going to use Big Goron's sword, wasn't I? Let's re-equip the Hylian shield as well, because I don't think I need the mirror shield. What is this? Oh. Finn's fire will be quicker for these, won't it? This inventory management would be quicker on the touchscreen. I could use the mouse, but that then involves taking my hands off the controller, so yeah. Something tells me this room was designed back when the something tells me this room was designed back when the oh, wrong boots. Back when the forest medallion was the wind medallion. Oh, there we go. Just a hunch. Because the forest medallion was originally going to be a wind. It was originally wind rather than forest. So yeah, something tells me that's yeah, something tells me that's what that was originally. I'm gonna get this one first. Yeah, that is, I assume, why the symbol is kind of like a fan. I don't know what that did. That's what it did. Oh, there we go. It's kind of an odd one out in series use and changing it. Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things, I think, just where Ocarina of Time's development was so troubled and, you know. Forest barriers dispelled. Hurry up, Link. They were going to say the barrier is dispelled, hurry up, aren't they? I have a feeling. Oh, I'm gonna have to get rid of one of my fairies, aren't I? Oi! I assume fire arrows can't do anything against the red ice. No. Let's waste a fairy then. I mean, it did heal half a heart, I suppose, but... I refilled my fairies specifically as well, last time, I remember. Oh no. Oh no, it's timed? Oh. I didn't realise that was there until I collected it. Thanks for that game. Oh. That's... not helped me at all. No, that's... So what happens if I don't get this in time? What am I meant to do? Maybe I push it the other way and... No. I can push it there, but if I push it anywhere else, it will just... I don't... Can I push it this way? No, because that's... What? So... Anything... I have a feeling that pushing it the other one where it was a mistake. I push it, regardless of where I push it, it's just going to go in the hole, isn't it? Maybe I'm meant to avoid pushing that one into that hole there? Wait, no, because then if I, regardless of where I push this, it's just gonna... Maybe I've pushed this one in the hole? Maybe I pushed that one in the hole. Is this not just starting out where the other one was? Oh, maybe not, actually. Okay, I think I figured it out. I'm so bad at these kind of ice slidey puzzles. As you may remember from Crosscode. Oh, I need to go back to the other room to get the stupid blue eyes. Am I gonna have to solve the block puzzle again? Stupid. Right. Okay, so I push this one in the hole. And that lets me push the other one. Up to the thing. Use the blue fire on the red ice. Ugh. Right. We're in, I think. Alright, there we go. So our rust is switched. Do I need to bring out the hammer? Yes. There we go. I wonder if the fairy will respawn. It does. There we go. Nice. Quite why they give this room a time limit, I don't know. The water barrier is dispelled. Hurry up. Also notice how that was all ice themed? Yet there wasn't really a full ice dungeon apart from the little ice cavern. Yeah, again, Ocarina of Time. Messy development. Also, I wonder how many people, when this came out originally, how many people had played enough of Zelda 2 to be able to know that the sages all share names with the towns in that game? Ganon did freeze the Zora, maybe he just prefers ice steaming. This treasure chest. Oh, that was useless. Thanks. Okay. I can stick shot back there, that's fine. Oh, come on. Okay, maybe using the hover shoes isn't the best idea for this. Okay, I timed that badly. No. Let's see if I can take care of the bubble from here. Yes. But like I might be able to take my sword without too much trouble, maybe. And I'm using the big Goron sword, so... stay away from me. Okay, big Goron sword one-shots it. Good. While the items switching, because I tend to keep like some like X and Y and the bottom corner one that are all the same. What does this button do? Oh, treasure chest. Should be able to hookshot up to, yes. Does this get me? What does this get me? The golden gauntlets. Okay, yeah, that's what I needed to open up the thing outside there. Okay. Well, once we've done what we need, once we've done this, like first floor, I guess, of the dungeon, let's take a quick detour out and see what's out there. The shadow barrier is dispelled. Please save the princess. She said something different. She said save the princess instead of hurry up. Wow. But yeah, I mentioned the sages. They're all named after the towns in Zelda 2. Although going by Zelda timeline, I think the towns I think in terms of Zelda canon in the timeline, I think these towns in Zelda 2 are named after the sages, since Zelda 2 takes place after Ocarina. But yeah, I do Oh. Yeah, I do wonder how many people played enough of Zelda 2 to like notice them all. Repeating dialogue in Zelda? Never. So that was the imprisoning ore? Secret stones? Well, good thing I didn't go in this one before the Shadow one. I don't know what you're referring to there. Is it Tears of the Kingdom, or is it one of the? Is it like one of the spin-offy ones? Where's the last silver rupee? Probably over there. The one I haven't been on yet. I don't think they intend you to cheese that by like jumping off it at the corners. There we go. Yeah, I think they intend you to be like, oh, I've got to run across it, but then you jump off it. Cut the corners. Oh, you definitely need the long shot to make that. Was that just one room? The fire one there? I felt like it was just one room. If it was just one room. Oh. Fair enough. The fire barrier is dispelled. Hurry up, brother. Yeah, so they all at least say a little different line. It's not... doesn't look like any of the exact ones repeat. Do you like the idea of things in future games being named after important characters? Yeah. Like, it's like... Because obviously when they made this game, they were obviously, in terms of, universe, like in terms of like not in your game universe, just in terms of development stuff. Yeah, they named them after the towns in Zelda 2. But it's nice. It was like, it's kind of like it does work as like a bit of as world building to make the. It does work to make the towns named after the sages in lore. Right. Invisible spider. Hmm. But now I want to know what all these chests are. Are they all just traps? That one's got a heart in it. That's a trap. That's useless to me. That's a trap. I don't know if button mashing gets you out that quicker. That's arrows. Kind of useless to me right now. And that's a trap. Okay. Well, the recovery heart would have been useful if I got it last. Oh. This literally just... That was, okay, that wasn't the entire thing. I was gonna say, that was the entire puzzle. Like, the entire, like, sort of section. That would have been a little bit... underwhelming. Is there a... yes. There's the last one. There it is. You tricksters, you. So what stage was that? Oh, right. You. The light barrier is dispelled. Hurry. But I think that's all the barriers. But I do want to check what was under that massive rock outside. Because this is the way I came in. Yeah. Yeah, I just want to check what is under that big thing out, the big rock outside. I do not remember. We probably got time as well. So. Navi's still not sure what it is, despite the fact we've lifted some up already. If this is the same fairy fountain that you get to as a kid, that's going to be mildly disappointing. Let's have a look though. Welcome, Link. I am the Great Fairy of Courage. I will grant you an enhancement to your defensive power. Receive it now. Okay, defense buff. That you'll use in one fight. I say one fight. You'll use in, like, just the end of the game. Your defensive power is enhanced. With your enhanced defenses, damage inflicted by enemies will be reduced by half. Yeah. Okay, so that was somewhat useful. I say as I'm a very reckless player and therefore I'll probably end up taking a bunch of damage. So it probably is actually useful. Just to be on the safe side, let's save. Ignore that Skulltula again. I really don't care. In fact. Let's backwalk into the door. I was going to change into the back to green, wasn't I? I'm a bit further up, I'll change into the Master Sword as well. I don't remember if there's like more actual dungeon rooms here or if it's just the stairs, I can't remember. Okay. Combat. Face your enemies, Link. And just... Oh, those, yeah. Oh yeah, I think I remember Ben saying they were in the castle. So what was it with the Nintendo final sort of things on the N64 using the organ? Because Mario 64 had that as well, didn't it? The final Bowser boss theme was an organ piece. Because organ sounds sick and ominous. I mean, I suppose. Ah! One downside to this sword. I can't shield with it. There we go. Boss key, which kind of just feels like a formality at this point. Oh, Iron Knuckles. Can I aggro just one at a time? No, apparently not. Ouch. Oh, come on. Right, there we go. Hey, that healed most of the damage I took. Right, for thematic purposes, I'm switching back to the Master Sword. Let's just save. Yes, I can. Oh, this isn't how I go, is it? Is there a door or something? Ah, yes. I need to use Ganon's true weakness, the bottle. I want a heart, game. Okay. Being only half a heart off of full health is fine, I'm sure. Oh, I like the way the purple, the light comes through, like it makes the wall purple. Again, I don't know if that detail's on N64, it might be. That's a cool detail. I wonder if it's... Seeing as it's at a fairly consistent distance, I wonder if it's done via mip-maps. Hmm. You know, I think they wouldn't have to do much visually if they wanted to port this onto an HD console. You know? I think visually it's held up really well, this 3DS remake. I know I've been praising the 3DS version the whole time I'm playing, but it really, I think, has visually held up well. I think the textures are just the sort of most obviously, like, aged part of it. Or the most obviously, like, it's made for a small handheld sort of part of it. And see, if they decided to just do a basic remaster of this with, like, updated textures, I kind of wouldn't complain unless they sold it for, like, stupid expensive, but it's Nintendo, so they probably would. Anyways. Let's go, go fight Ganon. Or Ganondorf, I suppose. Everyone's triangles are glowing. Oh. I didn't realise that I forgot it healed you. The Triforce parts are resonating. They're combining into one again. The two Triforce parts that I could not capture on that day 7 years ago. I didn't expect they would be hidden within you two. And now, finally, all the Triforce parts have gathered here. These toys are too much for you. I command you to return them to me. Link, I can't help you. Because of the waves of darkness, I can't get close. I'm sorry, Link. Great King of Evil, Ganondorf. Whoops. Right. It's time for tennis. And as Ben was alluding to, you can use a bottle for this, but... Whoops. I've got all my bottles full of fairies, so... If I end up taking enough damage that I have to use a fairy, I'll switch to using a bottle. Right. Hit him with a light arrow. This part I would remember without it having to... without, you know... Like, this part's fairly memorable. So even if I hadn't seen it, but I just seen it on YouTube videos in the years since I've played the game first, it's pretty memorable. Oh, now he does have a thing for him. Ganondorf, the Evil King. I have no idea what his weak point is. Right, it's gonna get rid of more of the floor, that's fine. Enjoy his battle themes, a remix of his Link to the Past theme. I mean, Ocarina of Time is basically a Link to the Past 3D, isn't it? Oh! Why is this feeling easier? I swear the tennis against Phantom Ganon, like I struggled more with that than I'm struggling here. Maybe it was like the perspective, like, or something. I don't know. I'm sure I struggled more against that. Do I? No. Oh wait, I'm probably meant to spin attack or something. Oh yeah, maybe the targeting. Yeah, that might not help. Not how Navi not helping helps him. My electric bullets, I didn't work the last few times I did it. Maybe if I do it again. Ganondorf, the King of Evil. The Great Evil King Ganondorf. Beaten by this kid? Oh no, they changed the blood to green. That was a change they made in later in 64 versions, I'm pretty sure. Link. There's a reason he didn't get the Triforce of Wisdom. Well, that's it. We beat Ganondorf. So, game's over, yeah? See, Zelda's free. Ganondorf. Pitiful man. Without a strong, righteous mind, he could not control the power of the gods. And... Link, listen to me. This tower will collapse soon. With his last breath, Ganondorf is trying to crush us in the ruins of the tower. We need to hurry and escape. Please follow me. I forgot this part happened next. Okay. Yeah, we're going Metroid here. Oh yes, Zelda has the magic power to open doors. Why don't they just use the Ocarina to warp away? Are they stupid? Maybe the Ocarina can only warp like one person at a time, and that's the person holding it. Or perhaps, like with Ganon's like magic and all that, he's like made it so that the Ocarina, I think he's made it so the Ocarina can't work or something. What happens if you try? The Ocarina button's entirely like grayed out, so I can't even like I can't even bring up the Ocarina. Ah! My plan would have worked if it wasn't for Zelda's highly specific power to open doors. But yeah, you can't even like bring up the Ocarina, so. Hold on. Big bronze sword will make it quicker. There we go. Thank you, Link. Now let's hurry. Guess it's hard to play an instrument when the building is shaking like an earthquake. Yeah, like a wind instrument would be pretty annoying to play in these kind of conditions. Why are you walking in a big zigzag like that, Zelda? Come on, Zelda. You can do it. Oh. There we go. I would say it's unfair that the timer keeps going when you do that, but I suppose that's the point, isn't it? Remember to save the animals. It is canon after all. Well, this castle sure is taking its time to sink. It's over. It's finally over. Link, I'm sorry I couldn't help you in the battle before. It's a Nintendo game. Of course it's not over after one final boss. Oh, it's Zelda's dialogue. What was that sound? She doesn't have much to say. So this is the one area where I will agree with people, where they say the N64 version looked better here. It is a lot... the lighting is a lot darker and more foreboding on the N64. I think it doesn't look bad here either, but... yeah, I don't think it looks bad here, but... there's no way he's going to hold me back again. This time we fight together. But yeah, the original look, though, where it's, like, much more in shadow, is more striking. What do you have to say about Ganon? I really have no idea what his weak point is. Well, if I remember right, I'm going to do this the way I did back in 2011, 2012. Use the, use the hammer. I could use Big Goron's sword, but... can't wait for the Lego set of this. Is that something they've confirmed, or is that, Oh, I don't really need that. I should put the hammer on a better button, hold on. There we go, that's better. Frankly, I feel like using the Big Goron sword here is cheating. Yeah, is like, if they confirmed the Lego set of this, or is it just like one of those ones where it's like only a matter of time? Ouch. Do you like the detail of like Zelda like yelps when you get hit? There was a teaser and it's very obviously this moment. Ah, right. I mean, as you said, it is iconic. There's not much strategy to this fight, though. It's just get behind him. Link, the Master Sword is here. Hurry up. Oh, get out of the way. Well, Ganon was right to... I think this is where... yeah. No? Hold on. Do I just spam the light arrows at him now, or can I get behind? Stun him and get behind him. Yeah, no, he needs a sword. Or just roll under him and get this... She couldn't have picked it up and thrown it to you. I mean, the way I see it is that, like, this fire around us is, like, some magic barrier. I assume it's like magic. It's like a magic barrier of some kind. Right, come on. This is why I carry fairies. I play recklessly. What's dodging? Here we go. The fire, well, the fire went true. Maybe she, I don't know, maybe there's something about the Master Sword where, like, only the true wielder can hold it or something. I'm using my power to hold the evil king. You use your sword and deliver the final blow. It actually helped a bit. A bit. Alright, it's time for the sword of... the Blade of Evil's Bane to do its thing. Goodbye, Ganon. Would have been better if I didn't miss the first hit. 6 sages. Now. Ancient creators of Hyrule, now open the sealed doors and send the evil incarnation of darkness into the void of the evil realm. Oh, isn't... Just try and snooze the ads away from the ending. I just realised. You... Curse you, Zelda. Curse you, sages. Curse you, Link. Someday, when this seal is broken, that is when I will exterminate your descendants. So I will say now, I will be muting for the credits. As long as the Triforce of Power is in my hand. Yeah, I'll be reading out dialogue until the credits. But yeah, any dialogue that happens in the credits, I won't read. Once we get to the credits, I'll be muting for it, so we can hear the music. It's a bit weird how the ending here is Link and Zelda floating in a void. Thank you, Link. Thanks to you, Ganondorf has been sealed inside the evil realm. Thus, peace will once again reign in this world, for a time. All the tragedy that has befallen Hyrule was my doing. I was so young, I could not comprehend the consequences of trying to control the sacred realm. I dragged you into it too. Now it is time for me to make up for my mistakes. You must lay the Master Sword to rest and close the door of time. However, by doing this, the road between times will be closed. Link, give the Ocarina to me. As a sage, I can return you to your original time with it. Peace has returned to Hyrule. It is time for us to say goodbye. I'm just realising Sonic 06's ending is a rip-off of this, isn't it? Maybe not intentionally, but it does basically rip this off. Now go home, Link. Regain your lost time. Home, where you were supposed to be. The way you were supposed to be. Thank you, Link. Goodbye. Alright, credits time. See you in a few minutes. And that is Ocarina of Time 3D. Oh. And yeah, for beating the game on the 3DS version, you get Master Quest. You no longer have to get a GameCube disc to play it. I'm not going to be playing Master Quest. I think the game is well designed as is. I don't particularly feel the need to play Master Quest. Anyways, I want to wrap up thoughts and all that, but an ad is about to start, so we'll stall for time before that. But maybe, I don't know. Or maybe I should just go for it. Seeing as Ben uses Prime Sub and Sam doesn't get ads anyway. I need to put down my controller, but the cable's too short. I'm sure it will survive on battery. But yeah, that's Ocarina of Time 3D. Let me just pop over to the chat screen. Before I close the emulator, is the audio from the game still coming in, or has it managed to fix itself? Before I close the emulator. Or before I turn my actual 3DS off. Definitely playing from a real 3DS, Nintendo. Please don't sue me, Nintendo. I did no piracy to play this. You can hear a horse galloping. Right. I don't know what's going on with my OBS install. Anyways, let me just move OBS over to my main screen so I can make eye contact instead of looking over there. Yeah, that's Ocarina of Time 3D. And yeah, I know certainly back in 2011 when it came out, the internet really, really loved Ocarina of Time, like, really loved it. Like, that game was like, you know how Expedition 33 won all those awards this year? The internet was glazing Ocarina of Time like the Game Awards was glazing Expedition 33 this year. Obviously, over the years, people have kind of, like, the general consensus on it, I think, has kind of, like, come down, like, people are more critical of it these days, and I do think the sort of overall, like, oh, Ocarina of Time's the best game ever made, definitely is overdoing it a bit. It is still, honestly, playing it again, like, it is probably still one of my favourite Zeldas. If not maybe even my favourite, despite all its flaws. There's just something really, like, comforting about coming back to Ocarina of Time. It's partly, I think, a nostalgia thing. It was the first full Zelda game I played. You know, short of playing, you know, the, like, 1 minute time demo in Brawl. And yeah, and I totally get why other people prefer other Zelda games. Because it is, especially of the 3D Zeldas, it's kind of a very by-the-numbers Zelda, very standard. But there's just something about it that just hits right with me, you know? And again, I think part of it is, it was one of the very first Zeldas I played. It's one of the ones I've got, like, a sort of a, you know, I just have a lot of fondness for it, obviously. It's by the numbers, but it wrote the numbers. Apart from the numbers, it copied from A Link to the Past. But yeah. Obviously, a lot of aspects of it, you know, it's very much a product of its time, even with the updated 3DS version. It's a product of its time, yes. It can be clunky, you know, things can feel a bit underutilized, half-baked in areas, you know. But at the end of the day, especially considering how troubled the development was, it still comes out a very nice, like, mostly cohesive game. And yeah, it's like, and I think as well, it's part of it is, obviously a lot of time with things, with anyone, how you feel about something can also just reflect, like, you know, like, where you know, if it reminds me of, like, what reminds you of, like, where you are in your life when you first experienced it, that sort of stuff. Like, I think for me as well, as well as nostalgia of it in terms of itself, it also kind of does just sort of bring me back to those early days of the 3DS. That was when I was really getting a lot more, because obviously I'd been playing games like pretty much my entire life. Growing up with, being able to occasionally get the Mega Drive down and playing games on the computer, that sort of stuff. And obviously, I started ramping up playing more, when we had the PS2, when we had, when we first got the Wii, that sort of stuff, and I had my original DS, obviously. But I think it was the 3DS and Wii U times where I really started getting, sort of really into things, we started becoming more online and, researching stuff, learning about, sort of learning more properly about, the history of stuff, and, and also, getting into, learning about, upcoming releases and hype cycles and whatnot. Because I remember, because obviously, as I said, the internet was in that thing of, Ocarina of Time's the best game ever, around 2010, 2011. So, of course, when Nintendo then announced, hey, this game's gonna get re-released on our new 3DS system. Not the new 3DS. Nintendo. On our new system, the Nintendo 3DS. There was excitement, obviously. And yeah, I call Ocarina of Time, one of my favourite Zeldas, if not my favourite. That does only really apply to the 3DS remake there. It's astounding just how well they remastered, remade it. Because it's still the same game in its core. It's a remaster, really. It's not like a remake. They use original source code and the design is pretty much the exact same. But it's a visual overhaul that's not I think that's called very faithful to the original. Especially to the actual 2D artwork they made for the game back, as the promotional art and all that. It's the version I picture. If I'm picturing Ocarina of Time, it is the 3DS version I picture. Partly because that's the version I played, but also just partly because it adheres to the original art style, the original 2D art that came out with it. That was the promotional art for the game and in the manuals and all that. It adheres to that really well. Because you get some remakes and remasters where they change up the visual style a lot, for better or for worse. But either way, it looks different. But Ocarina of Time 3D, Metroid Prime Remastered would later do this as well, where it's it looks like how you remember it looking, even though it doesn't. Even though the original really didn't look like that. It looks like how you remember it looking. At least that's the way I kind of see it, but again, I never grew up with the original. I never touched the original until after I played the 3DS version. Anytime I try to play the original, it doesn't end well. Doesn't help that modern controllers are really not suited to playing the N64 Zeldas. The N64 Zeldas are some of the games where you really need the original controller for it to really play well. Because otherwise you're then got to either map things weirdly or use items with the C-stick and play the with the right stick, with an analog stick, or play the Ocarina with the analog stick, which that doesn't work. Ocarina 3D translated really well to a Switch Pro controller on the emulator. Really well. The gyro was really nice and responsive, like a modern game. Button mapping, I managed to get button mapping where I liked it. A and B, obviously, the A, B, X, Y are all as they were. I put L and R, 3DS L and R onto ZL, ZR, because that's more comfortable for me. And the item 1 and 2 slots on the touchscreen. Normally, playing on a DS, I should have got one to hand. Yeah, you just tap them with your thumb. It's pretty easy. It's not too out there, especially on the normal size 3DS. I put them on L and R, and that worked quite well. Especially putting bombs on R, that kind of really does work, because that's what the open world ones use for bombs, isn't it? Well, because they use it for the, the Sheikah powers or the, So as I said, it's Breath of the Wild specifically. Because he uses R for the Sheikah powers, and obviously the bombs are a Sheikah power in that game. And then I use the clicking on the sticks for the touch buttons on the other side for the View and Ocarina. I was tempted to use like up on the D-pad for it, but then I was like, well, for menus I'd like to use the D-pad. And then like pause was on plus, and then like the gear and item menus I put on like minus and home, not home capture. So yeah, I can really recommend if you want to play Ocarina of Time 3D, not on and you don't want to play on a 3DS, emulate it, Bluetooth the Switch Pro controller to your computer, and set it up in the emulator. It works really well. Genuinely. Obviously, for legal reasons, I can't tell you to pirate it. For legal reasons, I can tell you to do what I did and mod your 3DS and rip it and all that. But, you know. So the DS had a remake of Super Mario 64, the 3DS had a remake of Ocarina of Time, what Nintendo 64 was Nintendo's next handheld remake. I mean, the 3DS was greedy. The 3DS had three N64 remakes, didn't it? It had the two Zeldas and Star Fox. Obviously. Ocarina of Time, by me and by many, genuinely regarded great upgrade to the original, the way to play for the most part. Majora's Mask is much more much more divisive and generally seen negatively by big Majora's Mask fans. Ask Ben for more. I'm not a Majora's Mask expert. Switch skipped it since N64 remake. I mean, the Wii U kind of had an N64 remake. Oh god, that's my webcam. That was a bad frame to think on. Yeah, the Wii U kind of had an N64 remake. That's kind of an N64 remake, isn't it? Trying to think. Yeah, in terms of I can't think. Yeah, I can't think of any N64 like remakes on the Switch that are like Nintendo first-party ones. Because remakes and ports on the Switch, you got what? All the Wii U ports, obviously. The Skyward Sword, which is a Wii game. Primary Master was GameCube. Link's Awakening was Game Boy. I'm trying to think, what of Nintendo's N64 library? Like, what of Nintendo's N64 like first-party games really is there left to remake that isn't like a game in a long-running series that's had sequels like Smash Bros. And Mario Kart? They've done Mario, they've done Zelda, they've done Star Fox. I guess Yoshi's Story? I always forget that one exists. Like, Yoshi's Story is very much a nothing game to me. Or Kirby? Potentially. I feel like if they were going to remake 64, they probably should remake... It would feel weird if they didn't, like... Because it's part 3 of a trilogy, 64. What the Nintendo first party? That's the thing with the N64, there's not that many first party, like, well, not many games in general. Not that many first party ones either. Like, that are like, the really sort of successful ones. Like, the N64 had a bit of a problem with sort of, you know, games coming out on it. Like, honestly, like, a lot of the N64's library strength comes from Rare. Without Rare, the N64 would be like half the console it was. to be frank. Yeah, I'm struggling to think. What other N64 games are there? Hold on, I've renewed my Switch Online. What other N64 games exist? There's Pokemon Stadium, but that doesn't really count. I don't think. N64. Because Pokemon Stadium already had follow-ups anyway. There's Wave Race, but it's Wave Race, isn't it? Of course, I'm calling Star Fox 64 Star Fox 64. It's not really called that here, is it? Not until the 3DS version. I mean, Mario Tennis and Mario Golf. Mario Golf? Yeah, there was N64 Mario Golf, wasn't there? Yeah, those obviously. It's not a remake, but there was new Pokemon Snap. It's not a remake, though. It's more a sequel. But there was new Pokemon Snap on the Switch. Yeah. Yeah, Mario Golf and Tennis, they're, again, just ones where you wouldn't really remake the old one, you just make a new one. Which they... To be fair, they did do that on the Switch, although... Does anyone really ever think about Mario Golf Super Rush? I feel like that game came out, no one got it, and then it just got forgotten about. At least people, like, talk about Mario Tennis Aces every now and then. Like, people, like... Once it, like, had all its drip feed content come out, like, I think it was generally considered pretty good. Like, at least the core tennis gameplay was pretty good. I just remembered there's the new Mario Tennis game coming next year, isn't there? I completely forgot about that. What else is there on here? From Nintendo, I mean, there's Mario Parties, but... Mario Party Superstars is basically a remake of old Mario Parties, isn't it? There we go, that's our N64 remake on the Switch. I need to unpin that comment as well. Where do I do the thing? There it is. Unpin. Paper Mario, the new ones don't count. Yeah, I mean, yeah. They could remake the original Paper Mario. I just took the Joy-Con off. Using a single Joy-Con controller with a horizontal grip may be difficult because it has less buttons. Yeah, I guess. I know Sin and Punishment got a Wii sequel. Sin and Punishment remake using the mouse mode on the Joy-Con. Or maybe port the Wii game with mouse controls. Basically, I want more Switch 2 games to use the mouse. I'm looking forward to using it in Prime 4, though. You can't scroll with the touchscreen. I was trying to scroll with the touchscreen. Anyways, yeah, Ocarina of Time. I like it. Like, I'm stalling for I'm stretching things out because I finished it quicker than I thought I would. Don't take that out of context. Yeah, I finished the game quicker than I thought I would today. But knowing my luck, if I started too late, I would have ended up taking longer. Yeah, Ganon's castle really was shorter than I remembered it being. The game as a whole was kind of a little bit shorter than I remembered it, but, you know. I think my last full playthrough of it was probably like 10 years ago or so, so... And I played the beginning part of the game a lot, so I really breezed through that. Yeah, honestly, like... Difficulty-wise, I was pretty comfortable the whole way through. I think partly it's familiarity, but the N64 era really was when games started becoming easier. Really, but games were being designed more for one longer campaign, rather, you know, like a longer campaign you'd play once. Or, you know, once or maybe a few times rather than a short one you'd replay loads and you'd replay it, like you'd die and have to start from the beginning and you replay it multiple times because of that. Was the Ocarina of Time very much. I mean, it's short enough to replay, but it's, you know, it's not like ooh, I've got like 3 hours, let's replay Ocarina of Time, because what, you'll get like halfway through Dodongo's Cavern or something. You'll get to Dodongo's Cavern in 3 hours, probably. Unless you're a speedrunner, obviously. But, I am not a speedrunner. So yeah. That's Ocarina of Time, and that's the last full playthrough of this year, because, frankly, I think I've probably only got one stream left this year, this Tuesday. I will be out during the day, but I should be back in time to stream. I've got 3 hours, I was quickly 100% Breath of the Wild. So yeah, Tuesday I think will probably be my last stream of the year. Just so I had to, like, you know, rush around doing stuff over Christmas. So after Tuesday I'll be back in January. I haven't fully decided what I'm doing on Tuesday, but it might just... It's fairly likely to be Sonic Racing, because it's an easy one to do if I can't think of anything else to do for a one-off. So, yeah. Plus it'd be nice to play the game, like, not during a festival, I can just do normal races. But yeah, that's probably one way to do, and then I'll have to have a think about what I'm going to play on stream next year, because I have not committed to anything really. I've not really come to any proper decisions yet. I've got one or two ideas floating around in my head. I know Ben knows one of them, because I was talking about that last Thursday, or on Thursday, but yeah, I haven't really made any commitments yet. But yeah, I've not really got anything else to say, so I can leave my I can leave like a look, you know, looking back at the year for next time, because this isn't the last one of the year. This is weird. It's kind of like this is kind of a last, but also not last. So yeah, I think we will wrap up there though. So yeah. As always, thank you for watching. Yeah, it's been a fun playthrough though. I've enjoyed going back through Ocarina of Time. So yeah, I should, unless anything comes up, should be back for one last stream on Tuesday, some sort of one-off thing, probably Sonic Racing. And yeah, I'll probably like do a little bit of end year sort of recapping or whatever, to end off the year, because why not? I enjoy doing it. So yeah, crazy to think that this year's nearly over already. It really does not feel like it should be. But we can get that, we can talk about that stuff next time. So yeah, thanks again for watching, and have a good rest of your night.